Do you think a body can die from too much rest? You know how they say the body in motion stays in motion. Yo, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting some information really quick. I just did something, but can you can you die from too much rest? I think yeah. I think you can. I think you can. I think you can overexhaust sleep until it forces you to stay up. So I went outside today. Ah! I escaped. I went outside. I ran outside. Bitch, I was in the hallways like, get me out. Boo, this came on right as my break is ending. See, because we connected, Lise. We connected. All the nurses were on break out here, and I ran outside. But I ran outside, and what should say? Can I send you stuff at the hospital? You can send it to my house, and then I'll have somebody drop it off. That's sweet of you to think of me that way. Think of me to send me stuff. I have a small bag of stuff I've been holding on for you. Oh, my little fairy kingdom girls. How is the fairy kingdom? How is the fairy world in the dream world? At least my fairy keeper. You're a dark fairy, actually. You're a dark. You are a dark fairy, but it wasn't just under the dark fairies. Your great 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 grandfather married a vampire. Married a vampire. I went back into your lineage a long time ago, and I was trying to decipher your genetic coding to just like help you along the path and try to leave some crystals and have people drop crystals for you and stuff because y'all like shiny stuff. Y'all lineage love shiny stuff. Like the crows, y'all connected with the crows. You're not only one that say not for the human. Yeah, we're all not. In order for us to make humans, we need every genetic coding of everything, including monkey. Monkey is what helped us to walk and talk. Cause them motherfuckers is bad. Them motherfuckers is. I'm in love with this one monkey dude. His name Rob. He went live today, and I said I can't watch him no more. I was like, I'm having unholy thoughts. He like my brother. He like my daddy. He like my uncle. So I'm like, I gotta be good. He's a teacher of the world. But I was like, man, listen, if it was on the other reference, the monkeys have primo DNA straight from gods. Um, I gotta run. Have a good day. Bye, girl. Bye, girl. Yeah, I was watching him. I was like, oh, something's happening. What's happening down there? I'm leaving my hair wild though. I'm leaving it because I wanted to grow the roots of memory, and it needs to be knotted and wild. It has to be wild. Everybody's obsessed with putting their hair in little Shakti things and making it all nice and pretty. Pretty, pretty. Why can't this be considered beautiful? Why can't my nappy, natural, like crazy wake up in the morning and go be natural? It has to be like long hair, blonde, that's brush, brush, brush and go. No, well this could be brush, brush, brush and go. I brushed it this morning. I brushed it. I washed it. When I get nervous, I start twirling it. You know, why can't this be considered beautiful? How I wear my hair. How I wear my shit. Yeah, my little crunch crunch. My brother told me I should shave it off and dye it blonde. I was like, I don't want my antennas to go off, but I think I'm gonna shave it off. I think I'm gonna cut my hair. It's just easier to attach the attachments on there because the longer my hair is in physical, the more information I get from the earth. Like in a dream I had a long time ago, everybody in the world gave me a piece of their hair. Everybody in the world who was up, of faith, they gave me a piece of the hair, and I dreaded it onto my hair. And by the time uh, I got everybody pieces of hair, it was dragging on the ground. So that was like adding your thoughts to the roots of the earth, right? So I thought that was beautiful. I can't add it if I don't have hair. I can't make that come to fruition if I don't have something to attach that shit to. But it might be time for me to just let her loose, like I got cancer. Breathe, breathe, get a nice fade, dye it blonde, get a little knot, look like I'm a man, androgynous. That's what I want to do. But I'm not brave. I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than lose my mind out here. Maybe I'm a fool to settle for a place with some nice view. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yo, Chris is calling again, huh? He is a beautiful fucking man. Like, I'm here. You doctor?
Oh, I got more medication.
More?
Yeah, more.
I'm ready.
Okay, this is your 2 o'clock labetalol and hydralazine.
They was gonna try to get me off the hydralazine because
Okay.
it's doing good. They don't want to sink me, do they?
We're gonna get your blood pressure now and see what you're at. Okay. We got parameters to go by.
Of course. You do your job.
Okay.
I am just talking.
No, that's fine. I hear what you're saying.
Sorry, I'm live with my friends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
interrupt you.
no, not today.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay. And magic.
You're on your job, dude.
Finger. There you go.
Wow. How long have you been a nurse for?
Oh, I am working on year 22 here.
22 years?
I know.
Dang.
Retirement's good.
Oh my
I can see it. I can
gosh.
see the light.
Hold on, I'll clap after, but dang. Congratulations. That's 22 years of helping, so that means you got good karma.
Well, I like that.
Good karma in the next 5 years. You gotta
I
finish
like that.
you gotta finish your service in the military.
I like your way of thinking.
Yeah, I think of the trenches of the hospital. That's the real military.
Yeah,
That is a military of the psyche,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
the back end of your soul. Because you see people just passing, dying in seconds.
Not everybody's dying.
No.
No.
You're helping.
helping
them to
there you go.
live.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I always called the nurses ladybugs.
I like that. That's kind of a nice.
Yeah. And did you know all ladybugs are male?
I didn't know
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
that. I didn't know that. That's
Mm.
interesting.
All ladybugs are men.
Yeah.
But they're just like the little keepers of the secrets that they always say, if a ladybug lands on you, it's good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's the one beetle I don't really care. I mean, I don't I don't not like. I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're well within the parameters. 143 over 102.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was just so good, and then it
I
just.
know.
But
Well,
I'm just sitting here.
these magic pills will help, right?
Right.
That's what
I did my workout and my exercise. Maybe I got to work out more.
they're for. You gotta take more walks on a daily
Yeah.
basis. Especially when we're having such nice weather. Okay, so labetalol 200
Good.
and hydralazine is 50.
Good.
Both 3 times daily.
Both of those together is gonna fucking go low.
We'll recheck it afterwards. I'll let you have those
An
magic
hour?
ones. Anything else I can get for you?
Can I have some water? I'm all
Okay,
out.
I totally forgot the last time. Let me go get that now.
I'm out.
Don't forget.
I have a little bit left, so. While we talking about it, let's talk about medicine. I was about to go on a whole different topic. I was about to talk about Chris Evans. One second. I went on the page today. Look, hey, I'm just saying, he's beautiful. What do you want me to do? I was looking at God's creations in the world, and I'm like, dang, God do some really good work. I was looking at the trees and the bees and the birds and the seeds. I was like, dang. And I talk about marrying the rock this morning. Lord, I'm talking about love. Thank you.
You still working on your tray here?
I'm all done. It was just black bean. It wasn't that good. But
Next time, a little better.
thank you.
Okay, welcome. Holler if you need anything, and I will help you out.
Ah!
I like that.
Todd,
There you go. That's the way to do it.
are you here? And is it? What's your name?
Todd, you got it.
Todd. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna hold him.
You just want the can of almonds, right?
Oh shit! Shoot! Thank you. Good eye.
I don't want to take those away.
Woo! Good eye. It's my snack. Let's talk about medicine. Let's talk about medicine. Yeah, let's talk about medicine. Let's talk about pills. Let's talk about pills and taking pills and things like that, and why sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes it's a bad idea. So the body's chemistry from a spiritual perspective is very difficult. Mine. The more complex the body, the more times you have to figure out how to bring something over. Right? If you think about a pill, it's just a little compact of ingredients of some pharmaceutical. We're talking about pharmaceutical medicines. One of the reasons that my body shut down is GMO. GMO was attempting to kill me. Genetically modified ingredients. O1 series can never ingest genetically modified food. But you don't know which is which because you're in the United States and that shit is all everywhere. It's like a plague. Genetically modified ingredients was killing God because God had to eat. So when God went to Osion's like, I can heal you, but you have to be on par with the physical. He's like, my leaves, my things can heal you and cure you, but you are an advanced technology. You are an advanced technology. So what you have to do is balance the med and the med in order to find a perfect, steady climax within your, like he said specifically, he goes, if you take this pill, the milk thistle and clear the liver out, you can work the machine both ways. Medicine for the physical and medicine for the soul. So I told Zion, I was like, yo, I don't trust it. I was like, I don't trust it. I was like, I don't fucking trust it. I was like, I need to get closer to God. I need to get away from men and get closer to God. And he says, you'll die. And I said, God doesn't die. He said, no, 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 no. You don't understand. And I said, what is it? He said, your body doesn't exhibit the kickbacks as other bodies, other newer models do. Excuse me. He's like, your kickbacks come out emotional, spiritual. He's like, your kickbacks and your flaws come from spiritual. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to take the medicine, for the blood pressure and stuff. But in order to reintegrate society, man, into the body, God must ingest man, right? God must ingest man, just like man must ingest God. Why they eat the body of Christ and stuff like that in order to stay connected to their Christ consciousness. And Christ consciousness can be transferred into bread really easy. I can transfer consciousness into bread so easy, but all of it is GMO. So I don't know how to. I don't like to tamper with second, third, fifth, because the GMO sequence that we were ingesting this last time was like, I think I read it was 250 million iterations off of their original. 250 million off of the original. That's illegal. That's almost creating that. I'm sorry. That is creating a different world of suffrage and pain where other people have to live with a non-nutrient based, no nutrients. They even fed it to the babies. Each baby formula added 250 million decibels onto the kid's life. So that's why they was craving what they was craving, because of the baby formula. Only pure breast milk can give full consciousness. Not you can't go to a medical facility say make this orange last longer. The amount of days that orange has to live is the amount of days, because it has to go back to dirt so the mother earth can put it back in her womb, sweep it up. She needs the orange peel. She needs the banana peel. She needs the compost of the organic fruits and vegetables that were originally here. She needs that because that goddess feeds O1. So working with Ozion, which is under Dr. Sebi, I was trying to do it 100% holistic. 100% holistic. But you have to have discipline. You have to have discipline. You can't go the easy route. You got to be in the village with him and stuff like that. You got to, in order to learn routine, right? But I wasn't giving a fuck. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna get closer to God, and then I'm gonna burn one day. I'm gonna get so close to the sun, it's gonna turn into an eye, and I'm gonna jump in the eye in the sky, and I'm gonna die, and then transform into a bird. That's what I was gonna do. That's like jumping through a noose, hanging yourself. I was about to go. I was about to, jump from the top roof, but I didn't, because I felt this ting of love. Someone was sewing the back end of my heart. Someone was sewing the back end of my heart, and it gave me hope. So I went to the doctor, and I was like, all right, let me rebalance my system and reintegrate the new people in, and reformulate the diagnosis, and look with the doctors, because all the ingredients is just iterations of a advancements of a leaf or fruit or something. It's not this big old hoopla, you know. Borax can kill you. No, it's not the big old hoopla. You know, you put borax up your patchouli, you wipe your whole system clean. You don't need no doctors. You put a little borax at the end, put a little lemon, let that flow in there. That kill every bacteria in there. Every bacteria. That lemon get in it at the end. Ting! Resettles your bell, your Liberty Bell, because most of these niggas here is nasty. I've dealt with disease. I've taken diseases from other people in order to just heal them. Just like I'll take it, whatever. I was like, nigga, you bitch, you gotta pay me. Like you gotta fucking motherfucking pay me, nigga, if I'm gonna take this disease from you. And then I would laugh. I'm just kidding. I got it though. I got it. I said I'll just take the disease, cure it for myself. That's what XXX was talking about. That's why they killed. You found out that some women have the ability to take disease from you if you fuck them. If you make love to them, if you truly give them love, they know how to take disease from you and heal themselves because they're healers. They will take the disease from you and heal you. Those were called the Earth Mothers. The Earth Mothers had a clan a long time ago of badass bitches, badass women. I call them bitches because we had to stay within the dog star state. If a nigga knew how to get into a dog, that's why the dogs was always fucking. The dogs was curing cancer, curing things. The dogs was just fucking their way into cured, but it fucked up the dogs because the dogs took all the disease and had to die sooner. Dogs used to be able to live for like 150 years. Dogs used to live longer than humans, but that's why they call them therapy animals. Chris Evans' dog is so fucking beautiful and cute. I was like, I want to be your dog, nigga. But not literally. I said, I want to be your bitch. I was like, I want to be your bitch. But he got enough pussy being thrown at him. Good enough. Good for him. He deserves it. All of the top producing men, they get enough. They get enough. They get more than a fucking enough. I'm not jealous nor greedy. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not a jealous person. They can have their wives or whatever right now, but watch when I get my husband. Y'all gonna be mad because I don't talk about y'all no more. Y'all gonna be mad because y'all losing the center of attention. I was like, I better suck that shit up now. But yeah, the medicine companies. So, oh God. So I'm gonna talk about this from a tagging medicine opening cloud file X 25 4 3 and 9 opening sequence. I got access to the back end of the pharmaceutical companies. Opening 1 ABC Pharmaceutical. They own all of these drugs. Damn. See, when I ingest the drugs, I get to access the drugs because they have to go to the owner of the drug realm. Guess who that is? Guess who that is? I'm about to give it to Larry though. Once we initiate all the new men into physical reality, I'm gonna pass the drug realm over to Larry and his crew, and I'm gonna let them go. They about to fuck up the whole pharmaceutical game. As soon as I tell them all of the fucking kinks in the system that they can do through pharmaceuticals, which is advanced technology, pharmaceuticals and shit like that is advanced technology because it's working with individual cells. It's going to a cellular level development before it reaches the physical world, but it's going internally so it can reach the physical world faster and heal you quicker, right? But you still gotta balance that shit out with Ozine, the owner of plants, because he knows all the families of each plant. He knows where the grandma stay up, and he knows the southern tradition. When you go down, you have to have a four-leaf clover, otherwise you won't be able to get over the rainbow. When you in the south, that was an old world tradition. Everybody had to find a four-leaf clover if they was traveling to the south, because the dream room in the south is only accessible by family. So you have to be only within certain families. But the families in the South had a feud with, like the Capulets and Montagues. It was the children of Eve, and the children of Lilith. The feminines wouldn't let Lilith uh, children, the dark children of Lilith, over the rainbow because they feared that their darkness would spread and they would lose their light. So I sent a bunch of sycamore trees through Oya. And so the secret with the sycamore trees and the ivy leaves, I said if you climb the ivy leaf, you can get over the black rainbow, but it's dangerous, so be careful. That's where the wolves be on the street, right? The wolves access that part of the rainbow. So if they climb up the ivy leaves, they get through the rainbow, and then in the south they can get to Atlantis, which is in Atlanta. But Atlanta turned into the underworld for disease control, center for disease control, but the underworld for disease control. And you would have to go to Atlanta, and you would have to be a nurse in the south in order for you to get through the rainbow bridge to pay off your debt to the darkness in the south, because you have to be balanced in your dark and your light. So you have to be able to turn on your light energy so that they would be like, this is where color passing came and shit like that. From a spiritual perspective, the color passing came from the color passing in the dark realm. The dark realm, once the girls climbed the Ivy League, and they got lighter skin most of the time, because most of the time they was spent indoors with the master, because he was the teacher. He was the teacher to teach the other side of how it worked. So the prettiest girls who had the best honey used to go indoors, make a little fan in the kitchen, put a little fan on in the kitchen and cook. And the honey pot that they had roasting would turn on in the kitchen and make it warm, and it felt like hearth and home. So the master would get so excited when certain women was in the kitchen because he felt different. The environment shifted because whoever controls the kitchen controls the mission, controls the control box of the house. The control box of the house is the spouse of the head master. The head master is the mason who built the bridge originally for the children to get back and forth. Follow that shit. Make that make sense. If y'all really want to know some fucking shit, make that shit make sense. Since y'all ain't on board with me. Y'all don't care. But once the master and the mistress, they called her the mistress because she was a missus. everybody in the whole clan was like, "Hey, miss, hello, miss," because they knew that she was important on the ground. Because whenever she stepped on the ground, that's when the hens started acting right. The birds started whistling, so you could hear what's happening in the underground. That's when everything, because the missus woke up early to make sure that the master had cast her. He cast the demons into her. He castrated the demons into her. All of the master's demons would go out at night and party and fuck on the woman, and the woman would be pregnant with the seed of a Montague, would be the impregnated with the seed of Eve, even though the girls outside was daughters of Lilith. So Eve and Lilith, or the women of Lilith was outdoor women was starting to get pregnant with the seeds of Eve, women of Eve, the lighter daughters. And the lighter daughters, uh, would come out, and then the 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 main girl in the house that was considered the wife would cause him strife. This is why people are all like, this is why I don't like being really called wife, because the wife was supposed to spread strife through the household because she couldn't get her way. I like to be called honey. I like to be called honey because of my pop. Because anytime he come with me with sweet words, I would always slather it this real quick, this right across his lips. Anytime he said honey, he called me honey because it was a disrespect to the wife. It was a big disrespect to the wife because this is a life I lived a long time ago when I had to play this role. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'll get back to medicine in a second. But I played this role, so whenever I would be chosen to go to the kitchen, I would make the best fucking food. I would activate every single ingredient because I knew the words to possess over the food, for the possession to go in the body as a procession through the tongue. So it would cause him to speak knowledge, and he would get higher and higher in masonry because he just knew things, and everyone was like, how does this man, why am I doing this? Hold on. I, it would be like, how is this man knowing this? And all the dudes would be like, all the men would be like, yo, how is he doing this? How does he know what he know? Where is he getting his information? And then they found out at this point in chapter in my story, the men found out that I had resurrected into this girl, and I was on a plantation in the South, and that the master that I chosen, which was under the line of Jefferson, it was under Jefferson. It was under Jefferson, and they figured out that I was giving him all the knowledge, and he was passing his courses and shit like that, hella quick. And they was like, "How he doing that?" Because he let me sleep in the house. He knew I didn't like sleeping outside. He knew I didn't like sleeping outside. He said he knew. I like sleeping outside, but I want to be comfortable. I want my own house. I want my own stuff. I want to wake up when I want. You could play your narrative storyline like you want. Dot dot dot. I don't give a fuck about y'all's story. I don't care about his story. I'm working on her story. I'm working on her story. Y'all can fucking have your history. Shut up. But he did love me. He did love me. He loved me a lot. He would help me learn all the secrets that the Masons were teaching back in the day. And I would find out which chapter the Masons were on so I could stop them from getting to certain levels too quick. Because I needed some time. But they was hella quick. They was like processor hella quick. during the revolution and stuff, the money was flowing, but everybody just seemed poor for some reason. I don't know. Everybody just seemed poor. But when I had a son. Girl, I would only produce girls, and I finally had a son, and that's when I had the son. That's the one thing that changed his position for me and made him see me more as equal when I produced his son, because his when I birthed this this son, it was his personality, but it was his great 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 grandfather who was connected back to the Lilith line. But they were so whited out because they all decided to go through not the Ivy or through Ivy Leagues. They all decided to go through the Ivy Leagues in order to produce their genetic sequence because they wanted to prove that they were of Eve, right? They were of the leaves of Eve. But Eve was jealous. Eve was so fucking jealous. I'm telling y'all, motherfucker, she was jealous. She was a very jealous woman. She hated on me for fucking ever. Eve would hate on me so hard. She would hate. And I would just like clap my hands and be like, girl, you looking beautiful today. Damn well, I'm fucking the shit out of her nigga. I was like, you want to play games, baby? You want to go through the mitochondria of Eve, but y'all don't know the back end of Eve is Lilith. The black end, the shadow of Eve. Before Eve was who she was, it was Lilith. It was this first personality that I created that could travel to any point in time, and the body would look just like mine. It had to. So basically, when tell them I call that the rock column. If I wasn't so claustrophobic in here, I would bust off one already. But I am in a close environment. I'm trying to be good. What was I saying? So when I finally birthed his son, it was Jefferson's first and only copy of himself, and it was both black and white. And the baby turned out to be so fucking beautiful. That baby turned out so pretty. He looked like a girl, but he was a boy. He looked like a girl and he was a boy, but he was beautiful. All the girls, when he started growing up, he would go outside and play. So this is where our story came from. Joseph and the Prince and the King of Dreams and shit like that. He had all of the spiritual shit that I had with the knowledge and the lawyer ability of his father. It was a perfect, beautiful blend of both light and dark. One of the most beautiful, perfect children I've ever created came from Jefferson's lineage. And when the genetics started flowing, it was like dolphin, lion, prairie dog, meeting house dog. It was wild. I mean, the kid was talented. He was very talented at everything he picks up. He played the piano like nobody's business. Called him Mozart, nigga. He played cello. He played the saxophone. He played every instrument he could get his hand on. He already knew how to play it. He already knew how to play it. And everybody, all the girls loved. Look, this nigga had green hazel eyes that would change black at night. That's 100% the truth. Nothing but the fucking truth. Nothing but the truth. I'm channeling from the old world, from the real world. He had green eyes during the day, but then when night came, he was a nigga. His eyes turned black. They turned just like mine. But in the day, they was green. So all the girls wanted him. But I told him, I was like, be careful. Because you have the genetics of both Lilith and Eve. So if you pick one of the bitches off Lilith and Eve tree or Eve tree, the other one gonna be mad. So I told him you need two wives. I told him you have two wives. You know who he remind me of now? That boy, Jadena. Nobody talk about that one. He remind me of Jadena. Mm, mm, mm. His spirit remind me of Jadena. And how he looked and how he dressed. He remind me of Jadena. Nigga might be Jadena. That boy might be Jadena. Shoot. When I found out what I was doing to my baby though, I found out that the niggas was so jealous they started doing bad shit to my baby. I ended up burning the whole house down. I burnt that shit down. I was like, because I was mad because he was getting all of the offers to the colleges. He was getting all the shit. They was mad. They was so mad. They sold that boy down the road into slavery, knowing damn well he was a free boy. They sold him to the Nigerians in Africa. People don't even know that there was reverse trades going back and forth on the underground. You take the black soul, I'll take the white, the body. We split the soul and the body in two. You sell the soul on the black market, and the body will do this, whatever I tell it to do and shit. So they was playing that motherfucking game with my baby, and everybody knew from the clan of Jefferson knew I loved that boy, knew I loved him. They was not concerned of what the actions of the course of their actions would be when they saw my baby soul. They saw my baby shit, and I was like, now I have to go back to a different point in time to get it back because them contracts is hard to get out of unless you know all the loopholes in the fucking book. Them contracts are very hard to get out. You know, one of the hardest contracts to get out of is a nurse. The the contract for the nurse, I was looking over the addendum and the agreements for the nurse uh, um, on the nurse homepage webpage. I was like, this is a slave contract for nursing. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. It's gonna tie in eventually back into the medical field, but we talking about my baby right now. So Jadena energy remind me of my son from Jefferson. But let's move it to this day and time and fast forward that story. Uh-huh. I hear ya. Let me finish the story, okay? I love you so much. Uh, but okay, let's go back. No, no, stay in this one. So we come into the present, and I remembered him, but he had he had a problem in his genetics now because he couldn't tie the sexual abuse that he had when he was in this point in this timeline back to what he was doing here or this abuse that he had because he had a lot back for his spiritual and physical. So he was supposed to be a king a long time ago. So this is why I played Bambi that one time when I was doing my song 4432. Bambi, Bambi, my dear, don't get too near for the lions. I'm surrounded by motherfuckers that's trying to kill me. Oh, Bambi, I won't lie. The Bambi is the original woman who had the eyes of Bambi. The Bambi's mom got killed. Bambi's mom got killed. So Bambi is this doe-eyed big-eyed girl that's lost in the world. But he looking at Bambi like, damn, Bambi, I wish I could. But my mama told me I had to marry to in the jungle. I must be alive. I into this field right now because he got to be with the lion. He don't get ducked, so they don't know he on both worlds. He owns both worlds, right? To be or be a cheetah, but neither is fine. Be a cheater. The animal of Brazil is a cheetah. Put that into connection. I learned this from an artist on my page. I love him. He's doing a series on on animals, uh, on all this countries and states animals, and he's drawing them. He's awesome. He's really good. But I love that series. I'm like waiting for him to finish so I can like go through his repertoire and like learn a bunch of stuff. I'm really excited about that class. But anyway, or be a cheetah, but neither is fine. Don't wanna hurt my dear love of my life. Oh, baby, it's my design. What did he say? He said, because I'm afraid to look back in your eyes. I'm terrified you are love of my life. Right? Bambi, Bambi, my dear, my dear, my dear. Don't get too near for the light. And then he basically going on, he was like, I if I could, I would, but I can't. He's like, I gotta be a cheater. I gotta be these things. I have to have multiple wives because if I choose, that curse that's placed on his lineage from that moment was uh, basically the same thing. Basically, you can't choose one wife over the other. You could have your first and your second wife no matter what. It all comes from genetics. Lilith is going to be the first wife no matter what, but you got to have that Eve. You got to have both of them. And then if you choose a third wife, the third wife has to have the contributes of both wives into one, right? And so, he also remind me of Drake. Damn, how many fucking Sagittarius? Which one is a Sagittarius? Is anyone is a Sagittarius? Let me see something. Let me see something real quick. He, of course, does that. What is Drake? Okay, good, 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 good. He's under Leo. I hit him under Sagittarius. Sagittarius warriors, which put him back into the Leo. They already got him back in the kingdom. That's why he aligned. He right next to the Virgo. Damn, hold on. I'm having flashbacks. Ooh. Ooh. Sometimes why? um, yeah, I had to cut him off though. I mean, from my tit, from my boob, for consciousness reasons. For him to go to his wife's consciousness, pass them on. I was like, I can't do with the multiple wife thing. I can't do that shit. Like, I'm the king. I'm the motherfucking king. Come on, eat. Hi, guys.
Oh, there you are.
Hey.
We were driving around the hospital looking for you.
You're lying.
Called you like 3 times.
You did not. You didn't. You
Called
didn't.
3 times.
You did not. You
You were listening.
you were supposed to call me. You you know that I have doctors running back and forth in this. You, I need a minute.
Joking. We didn't really go to the hospital. But I was trying to. We were going to leave right from the right as soon as I installed the car seat.
Did you do it? Okay, well, let me know when you leave. I'm gonna get my clothes on and I'm gonna go
I
take.
just made her a peanut butter and jelly, and she didn't think twice about it. She was just like, no.
Well, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break, and you call me when y'all leave, and bring me some crystals. I want rose quartz. I want an amethyst.
You could be leaving tomorrow.
Just give me a fucking crystal, and I'll say thank
Bring
you.
you one fucking crystal.
Just one. Okay, one is fine. Thank you.
One little quartz.
Thank you for being not a quartz. Just love me. Love me. I want to be with
Rose
you.
quartz.
I want to be with
You want
a rose quartz. Just give me one rose quartz. I always have to surround myself in rose quartz, otherwise my heart chakra starts failing.
shower.
Hmm?
Take a shower.
I did take a shower this morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock in my drop top cruising the streets. I made my bed. I did my whole routine. I danced. I sung. I did all my stretches and took my medicine, blood pressure, all that. They got you on a strict schedule like you in prison. 'Cause technically,
Go outside whenever you want.
yeah. Anyway, basically. Anyway, I'm gonna go pee pee. I'll call you later.
Wow, we're not.
You are going. You are. You hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, I gotta go pee. I'll call you later.
That boy needs to bring my fucking daughter. So Jenna, they already. I mean, that would complete. If he ended up in Leo, that would have completed his cycle after Sagittarius in his last life. So he might be done with his cycles here in a second. He just needs solitude. He needs a solitude, and he needs a decent album, no skip album, just a straight through banger that could pinpoint his timeline and his time loop so he can get in and out. All he has to do is listen to it one song and he would be in and out of time. He hella smart. If y'all really fucking focus on that shit, he hella smart. Y'all don't really be noticing them light skinned boys. But them niggas is Ivy League. Sorry, that was rude. I have a problem with my tongue. It's like a snake. It comes out no matter because it just comes out on its own. It just does its own thing. I can't stop her. That's a tongue. That's I can't stop her. She be going. Anyway, so Jefferson. And then we had a boy, the boy, and Jefferson. He took that boy everywhere with him. He took him everywhere with him. Everywhere. And people would be like, oh, is that your son? You know, and the wife, the main wife he had at that time for that character storyline, because most of his wives were actually ghosts. Most of these men's wives were ghosts because they would create an apparition of what mother would be. And they would find a body to fill that, you know, with no mind and fill the body with apparitions, which are all programs. A ghost is just a program sequence in a reality. It's just how much information can you program to be compact enough to be uh, self-aware and self-assured in that situation. Um, so it's all energy-based programming from a spiritual standpoint. Um, so when he was like the boy everywhere with him, you know, the whole coat situation that was all plagiarized off of his situation, his story too, because I made him a coat of wool, a wool fucking coat, and I was like, when you in the land, you need to cover up your lying, right? You need to cover up being a fucking lion, which if you wear wool, I can hide the frequency good enough from his heart's perspective, which will cover his heart. You know, the Jewish things that had a star over the heart. You open the coat, it would burn. His heart used to be like the sun burning bright. Like everyone would be like, "Oh my God, is that who is that?" You know, and it would cause problems in the fucking matrix. So everywhere he went, he had to wear this coat that was made of wool, and it had an extra patch on his chest, right? And the patch was just like a little star, which basically gave him a pass wherever he went. So the star, so if he took off his jacket, everybody would see that fucking star, and they know don't fuck with him, right? But um, that he had to keep that wool whenever he went with his dad in the white world, because the white world can't see the black world without the black world knowing that the white world don't exist, or that the black world don't exist. So you had to be undercover with our shit. You couldn't let nobody see it. Like they sheep, you know, you couldn't let the sheep see what's going on with the wolves, with the, you know, we supposed to be eating the fucking shit, you know what I mean? In the dark room. So he took my son with him one day, and he almost got my son killed in the white room. He took him to some political rally or something like this because at a young age he was an activist. My son was an activist. Um, you know, I'm gonna just say just didn't because that's probably easier to find that reference within that matter. Um, but they he went to a political rally and they said something about his mama. Now, one thing motherfucking J Dunn don't play about is his mama. They was trying to pass a secret rule of Lilith, the secret rule of Lilith, basically saying not allowing any other Lilith uh, members to join the parties of Congress, which was the dark people, right? You saw this playing out in the system with the black and the white situation, but it was really conspiracy hidden under a conspiracy, and the conspiracy was Lilith, the daughters and sons of Lilith is evil. They're evil. They're evil. They're evil. They tried to point this like finger at us, even though they mama was the one that ate the motherfucking apple that turned everybody into death beings. They mama, not me. My only addiction was some good wands. It was a cool wand every once in a while. That was an addiction of mine. I wasn't worried about no death. I wasn't worried about no heart shake, heart love, Hollywood shit. Nah, I wasn't worried about love. I was worried about getting my paper. I was worried about making sure my sons ate because I had so many sons and daughters in the fucking South. I had so many fucking sons and daughters, man. I was feeding them left and right. I had one on the titty and the other on the titty, the one in the fridge, getting the titty milk like it was wild. I was spreading so much consciousness because I was constantly birthing because me and Jack couldn't keep our hands off each other. We could not. We couldn't. It was impossible. It was literally fucking impossible. You talk about Mission Impossible, that was Mission Impossible. They try everything to. If they passed laws, and so that's when that story, the love, the I'm not even I want to talk about it. I'm gonna save a whole chapter for them. The love, um, you know, the family of the loves with the interracial children. All of those is my kids. We put on masks, and that was a masquerade. We had to play in order for us to be together. I told them, I was like, if y'all want to be together, y'all gonna play this role. It's gonna be dangerous, but we need to get this shit situated because you know me and your dad. If we are in opposite teams in opposite directions, it start raining quick, right? And I was like, y'all know how y'all love to play outside. We will make the sun hella nice out here, and this will be our backyard. Whenever I go to the south, I'm going to the backyard to play with the kids. But we can't do that shit unless y'all motherfuckers get up in the role of the Lovelies or the Love. I forgot the names, but we got in them roles, and he played the dad. I played the mom, and we did our little thing. But you could feel that intensity between the two, that electrical vibe between the two. You could see that shit clear as a motherfucker. Anybody who stepped to that regime, 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 they kept trying and trying. They kept killing off my character and trying to write my character and stuff. There was a lot of back shit that did nobody talk about in the black end of the shadow world of another shadow world. It's a uh, it's a Shutter Island type shit in the South. The whole South is shut like a Shutter Island. That movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which I need to apologize to him for calling him out. Anyway, so when his daddy took him to the house, the big house where they put past the laws that are given by God, they didn't let God in the South. They said she had enough territories. She had enough territories. I was like, nigga, y'all greedy little fuckers. So um, they passed the law, like ding, made it. He ripped off his coat and showed himself, and he said, "I am God. If you pass this law, you will die." He said that in the middle of the, you know, the house, and everyone was like this, covering their eyes. I'm like, "What is that?" He opened his jacket and said, "I am God. If you pass this law, you will be in violation of the galactic federal blah blah blah, and you will die." All them old motherfuckers was mad. They was mad. They was hanging, man. That's the day they came. They hung Emmett Till in the spiritual realm. That was the day they hung Emmett Till. That was a reaction of a ripple of what my son Jadena did and stood up against the tyranny. But they had to get the one up. They sent him as a little drummer boy to say this is starting a war with the children of the rightful owners of the land. That's why they killed Emmett Till, because they knew he was connected because he had the star on him. Although he had his electric star, which is different from the sun star, which is under Leo, which is under Jefferson line. But they ended up killing him and hanging him and burning him and sending him back to the land. So they sent him back to the land, and he come back to me, and I'm mad, nigga. I'm mad. I'm so mad. Like I've never been as angry. I was like, you almost got my baby killed, and you got my baby killed. You know what I mean? I was like, you almost got my baby killed, and you got my baby killed. So when Emmett Till came back, he was doing his little drummer thing. I was like, "What your ass doing here?" He goes, "The white side has declared war against the children of Lilith, against the children of Lilith." So they sent me back to tell you, and then they also sent me these images, and then they showed pictures of my sons burning and hung on trees, sending them back to the leaves of Eve. They sent pictures where they were smiling and giggling. And, you know, I'm telling you, the children of Eve was so dangerous. As light and white as they was and stuff like that, that was dangerous. They hung my babies from the trees. But I took it into the spiritual world, and I was like, I declare war right back. I fucked up their Liberty Bell. I was like, y'all ain't gonna have no Liberty nigga on my block. We started playing war between the South and where I lived in Washington. But they had to duplicate that in the physical. So it was the South versus the North in a war. under, uh, the red flags and the blue flags. But they didn't. That one thing they did not take into account with this war is the persistence of a mother protecting their child. They wasn't protecting nothing. They wasn't protecting no liberty, justice for all, for nobody. What they was protecting was they didn't want the shadow world to be integrated into the physical realm. They didn't want the shadow shit. They were like, fuck that shit. We don't want to play in the shadow world because the shadow world is dangerous and dark and evil. I'm like, when is my genetic code evil? Y'all need to look at y'all motherfucking mama. Why y'all turned out to be such a badass motherfucking investment? Y'all rotten apples. My sister was hella mad at me. She was like, we could stop the war. It's a war between egos. The man egos and us. She go, no matter what, we sisters in the dark, we sisters in the light. She's like, we can't change our whole, thing. And she was like, I'm king. I can declare anything I want. I was like, nah, let's go to war. I was like, Shadow World is going to war. We've already accepted. I said, your kids are so bad because you don't punish them. Nobody punished you for eating that motherfucking apple, so everybody died. And your lineage is gonna die. Y'all gonna have skeletons upon skeletons in y'all closet that y'all can't clean until y'all come back to me on y'all motherfucking knees and know I was the first one on this earth. You gonna have to be on your motherfucking knees. And I said, sister. I went like this. I was like, you're gonna be on your fucking knees by the end of this, sister. I smiled and she was like, I don't want to go to war with you. She said, I'm avoiding it at all costs. I'm gonna do everything I can. I was like, y'all badass seeds cannot listen to their mother because they don't respect their mother. I was like, they only care about what their father say. They only care about what their father say. So I went to war for my sister and against my sister. For my sister and against my sister. And you all saw how that ended. Bing, bing. Then the 60s came. And free love came. I was like, we ain't done. I'm gonna fuck y'all so bad in the motherfucking asshole that y'all gonna remember this for lifetime. It ain't gonna get out your DNA. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna make money, y'all God. Since y'all wanna worship y'all God, and I'm gonna watch y'all ass burn over and over and over until the program is complete. Till y'all on y'all motherfucking knees for killing my babies. I said, nigga, long game, nigga, long game, nigga, long game. I said, long game, nigga, I don't care. Especially not my babies. Y'all can fucking do what y'all want, on y'all white land, or y'all white squares. But the minute you step on a black motherfucking square, you in my world. And then they finally gave the final end of this. They gave me the full board. They gave me my throne and my crown and everything. I was like, y'all could be the motherfucking king. Y'all could be the king. I'ma sit at the top and just watch y'all ass. Y'all can play knights of the armor and be king queens and shit like that. But y'all gonna know who God is. I said by the end of this turmoil, y'all gonna know who God is. Y'all gonna feel the wrath. They felt it. And then they was like, we're suffering and we're suffering. I was like, yeah, suffer a little longer, nigga. I was like, we all need to suffer a little bit longer because the long game is almost done. And they would call me under their aliases, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They kill me, they kill me, they kill me. And I said, okay. Ding, 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 ding. Wrote it in the book of death. Ding, ding, ding. Anytime they kill one of my kids, wrote it in the book of death. Put them back in the book of life. I was like, put them back in the book of life. When I put them back in the book of life, when I put any character they wanted to be, and they would have full memory. And people would be like, "That's not fair. How do you do that? How did you do that?" And then they started playing bad, taking over the medical field. They tried. They was some badass motherfucking kids. But now that I have access to the pills and potions, we're overdosing. Can't stand it, but I still love you. Pills and potions, we're overdosing. I'm angry, but I still love you. Um, they daddy on the other side, which came from the Lil Inky lineage, would take over every quarter because they was contractors. My brothers was contractors for the dark side. They were contractors, and so they would learn my strategy and shit like that, and then pass it back to them. So they became spies, and then they became the ones that actually took over the whole strategical elements of it and went on their side so that they could win the war, so that they could stay. There's no war with God. No one can pass war with God. God invented war. Shit. But it was really hard for me, again, from this spiritual element, seeing that the person that I was in love with, again, but I wasn't too worried about love, but I wanted to be around him every day. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to wake up with him with the newspaper. You know, I had my own shit. I was out by myself, but he had his apparition girl, which would wake him up and give him his coffee and rub his feet and stuff. I was like, that's the servitude stuff that I want to do for the man that's providing for me. I don't want some other woman reciprocating what I need to do as a woman to keep him providing to our family. She wasn't having as many kids as I was. She wasn't producing the top seeds. She wasn't getting her sons and her daughters in Ivy Leagues. I was doing all the hard work, making sure I taught them hella. I taught them a lot. So when I would go further down south to Florida, and I would go to my real roots. I have a tree in Florida that's fucking older than anything, and it's guarded by the crocodile realm. But that's where I sent visions back to myself, saying that the war was it's about to be a war right now, and I forced my so uh, I would teach all my son, but every once in a while I had to go to Florida. When I would go to Florida, I had a friend who was also my husband. He was a Cajun boy. He was a French Creole boy, a beautiful man, and we had kids down there, but uh, we had a lot of kids down there, and they were turning into crocodiles, literal crocodiles. And my husband at that in Florida was like, "You spend so much time in the West, you spend so much time in the South, but you don't go deep South." You never go down here. You visit once a quarter. He's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. He's like, I can't be with you if I can't be with you. And so I said, well then let's move all the kids up to Texas, or move the kids up a little bit to Louisiana. And he was like, this is my home, and if I move, I lose my throne. And I was like, okay, well, we have to figure out a way. 331. We got to figure out a way for me and you to find some sort of middle ground. So we would go to New Orleans. I would vacation often in New Orleans, and we had a lot of kids in New Orleans, but they would always get birthed in New Orleans and go to Florida because their daddy was a good daddy. He just how do I explain his energy? He's slow, but he fast. That's a good one. He's slow, but he fast. He'll talk it real slow and just take it down. You need to slow down. Your vessel's not gonna last long. It's little cake. And I know everything he said. He was quick. He was quick witted. And sorry, I had to breathe that one out. I miss him. I miss him. These stories that I tell and that I keep inside of my cloud of memory things. I live within memory. I thrive. That's my home. Memory is my home. Memory is where I live. Not too far in the past, because the past becomes the future. I'm in the present, but I'm telling you, history is not history, it's her story. Each husband I had was in a different state. They had to be separate. I used to not, be too jealous, to build up the sons in that area, to be Masons, to be mama's sons, to be my sons, my daughters, my stars. I didn't call them daughters. I don't know where daughters came from. I used to call them stars. I called them sons, my sons, and my stars. I would go down there and I would come back, and my husband, where I lived there with the kids at Jefferson's, would be like, "Why are you always sad when you come back from Florida, Mama? Why are you always sad and we gotta pick you up because you're depressed?" There was something there that was so deep within me, that was rooted so deep within me, that I could never forget the communion that I shared with this individual. No matter how many lifetimes I lived, I could never forget the communion I shared with this man. It was a deep, it wasn't an infatuation like, oh, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. It wasn't that. It was pure. It just brought me back to reality. It just sunk me in the roots of earth, wrapped me around, and I felt safe. I felt good. I felt like I didn't have to fight. I felt like I was always going to be taken care of. But something about it, something that I don't remember. Like, I can't remember why we didn't this branch of love that we would just blossom off of. You know, we had the foundation, we had everything, but he told me, he said, you can't have roots and wings. You can't have roots and wings. I was like, but I can't stay here. I'll drown, I'll die. I need the sky and the south. I need the west, the south. I need the north. I need it all. He was saying, I can't love a woman who's not satisfied with just what we got. Always wanted more. Always wanted more. More. One day that more is gonna catch up with you. You can't carry it all with you. Who you gonna call? You gonna call me and I'll take it off your back and I'll put it in place. He was like, you gonna come home sooner or later. I've been saving you this gator. This portion of my memory is lost in time. The hardest things is remembering this person. You know, he looked like an old man, but he was young. He had the hands of God. They were thick, big old hands, big old hands. And the love that he showed me and he made to me was real. Like it was divine. It wasn't all this rough and tussle and moving and hands over legs and shit like that. It was pure grounded foundation. Love, pure love, nothing else. He didn't care what I did. Red dress woman, pick up her clothes and go. Watch the babies for me, I'll be back. I always said that. I always told him, I said, I'll be back. Lifetime after lifetime, I said, I'll be back. And he give me a kiss on the cheek and he would just say, he said, I know you will. He said, I know you will. He said, I know you will. And that I would be back in a different life, in a different time, acting like he never existed. Acting like I never laid down and felt like love wasn't enough at a point in time. You know, it's like I'm fighting a war to get my children to go to school, to go, you know, have the luxuries of life, to get my land back. You know, it's like I'm fighting. I'm fighting. He stayed as solid as the ground beneath me. I called him the Florida boys. It was so, it was simple. Everything was simple, but it was very complex. He played around with the home as an environment, and he was a scientist specifically settling this land to be a fan, to be something different. He made it seem as though it was so crazy so he could keep the poachers out and keep the war out. He could just have his little section and be happy, much like an ogre. much like an ogre. Much like an ogre. So I want to go back to that memory and sit in it, but I'm going to just tell you that because I'm all over the place, medicine has to have the best person responsible for my upkeep and my health. That I have to take the medicine, take in the world so that I can balance my economy. Once you balance my economy, you balance the earth. Once you balance my health, I balance the earth. The earth balances me. The earth balances me. But sometimes the only medicine that I really need is to be loved deeply like that, to be loved as deeply. And I can't even remember who. Like, I remember the face, I remember the structure, it was very big, but I don't remember. Like, he wasn't one of the persons that wanted to be acknowledged and praised 24/7. He wanted me to acknowledge that there was something different between us. That's it. That was it. He never wanted more of me than I could give him. And that's fucking rare as hell because as soon as people see that, internally, I got this. It's like Candyland type shit. They go, wow. But he only took a little bit. He only took a little bit of me and he left me with the rest. He didn't even. I'm sorry. He left me with the rest of what I have. Never asked me for nothing. Never went in my pocketbook. Never stole from me. Never sold me. Never did anything wrong to me. And I felt bad that I can only go back and forth, every millennia, once in a while. But it got to the point where I got old, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go, settle. And then God was like, no, you're not. And he would reverse time. And I'll be young again. I just wanted to grow old with him and just sit on our rocking chairs and, spread the gospel through singing and whistling. I love all my husbands. I appreciate all my husbands. You know, just sometimes I just want to slow down. That's when my kidneys are failing and my body is, doing what it's doing right now because I move so fast through time to try to rewind and fix things for all my kids. But who gonna fix me? Who gonna fix me? Yeah, the kids is older. They create their own stories. I'm sitting here by myself. And I just go back to this memory of this time where it's like, damn, like he. I'm just say this. I'm gonna get off because I gotta go. But he loved me solid because he knew I was a heavy oak. Every once in a while, he get this big hand over my throat. He'd look me in the eyes and he'd tell me, "You are mine." He said, "There is no time within time." And then he would just wrap his arms around me because he wanted to get that lesson clear. So he'd always touch me here. I never let no man touch my throat because I felt that they was going to end what I have. I felt like my voice and my meaning was the only reason that I was breathing my neck. And he would just grab me with his big old hands, barely my life snapping. And he would just tell me, look me in the eye, like literally stare in my soul and say, you're mine. You are mine. He said the world can have you, but you will always be mine. No more. My heart is hurting really bad. I gotta stop. Yeah, please.